Let's get more on those hiring and firing stories now. Najat Abdulhadi of LinkedIn joins us live on Microsoft Teams. Of course, LinkedIn, a Microsoft company. Najat, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So 3 out of 4 people are considering looking for a new job in the UAE this year. That means out of me and Brandy and Tom and you, most of us are job hunting at the moment. Tell us more.
Yes, that's correct. LinkedIn runs a survey every January to assess the levels of confidence that professionals in a specific market are feeling. We combine that with our hiring data to give us a comprehensive picture of the sentiment of professionals. And we did that this year for both the UAE and Saudi, and we got very similar percentages. We are seeing, surprisingly, very high levels of confidence. Obviously, the UAE and Saudi are faring better economically than the rest of our region, EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa. But professionals are feeling very confident in their abilities to look for new jobs and to land new jobs. And in general, we are explaining this through the resilience that they have built coming out of COVID and economic recessions, and the mentality that has changed forever, really, in deciding what they want to do and how and when they want to work.
Najat, had we been speaking this time last year, well, in fact, we were speaking this time last year because it's an annual survey,
Right.
I'd have thought absolutely. The power was with workers then. There was a shortage of staff worldwide. This year's very different. We're talking about PayPal layoffs this morning, 2,000 workers. Tech, we know, is shedding staff. Goldman Sachs is shedding staff. You know the story as well as I do. We get the sense that the power is now shifting from the employee to the employer. And against that background, it surprises me that people are looking to shift jobs. Maybe the bonus this year is keeping your job.
Yes and no. So I think this is correct when we think of certain sectors. We are very close to the tech sector and financial sector, largely. This is not true for all sectors. Also, we do think that the headwinds that tech companies are facing will not be long-term. At the end of the day, tech jobs and tech skills are the most in demand across markets, and this is not going to change anytime soon. And employees know that. I mean, right now, especially in the Middle East, there is a war for talent. And employers, if they do want to keep their employees, they have to work on their talent retention strategies, because employees now, as I said, coming out of the Great Reshuffle, are rethinking the ways that they work and rethinking even the values of the companies that they want to work for.
Well, finally, let's talk about the kind of things that people are wanting. No surprises that more money is top of the list, with 37% of people saying a higher salary would be the big motive, but very closely followed with 34% saying they want a better work-life balance. Will people really move jobs for that?
Yes, definitely. And this is what we have been seeing over the last 2-3 years. I mean, I can give you data and surveys and all these percentages that show us strong signals of people wanting more work balance. But I'm sure that all of us know people in our lives who are increasingly talking about this. This is becoming a mainstream conversation. It was not among professionals a few years back. People are more attuned to the things that they want to do outside of their professional life. And it gets interesting when we look at specific age groups. Millennials, for example, have this feeling that their employers are not 100% invested in them. They want more skilling opportunities, training, internal mobility. Gen Z thinks that their employers have not fared really well in handling the headwinds of economic crises and COVID. So people are thinking outside of their bubble, and they feel that they are able to find other opportunities outside of that bubble. It's a very different picture than few years back.
Finally, Tanya's written in with a question. What about pay rises and promotions within my existing company?
Well, LinkedIn has a lot of tools actually that helps you master that conversation, and we can talk about this a lot. We have a lot of articles and content and interviews. In general, as I said, talent retention is becoming one of the top priorities for companies. And if companies do not, for example, want to offer more flexibility to their workers, then they have to offer them other opportunities within the company, like pay rises or internal mobility, especially with the cost of living going up. And this is across markets. It's still not a very clear picture, but we think that this is a critical time in shaping the next 2 years of what the world of work looks like.
Najat, great talking to you. Appreciate your time this morning. That's the voice of Najat Abdul Hadi from LinkedIn. On the back of that survey, 3 out of 4 people in the UAE are considering looking for a new job this year.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.